The static was the first thing I heard. Not the scream, not the crash, just a sound that didn't belong. The control room smelled of burnt circuits and cold coffee. One screen was still flickering, replaying the same line of text. Flight 914, signal lost. They said it was a systems glitch. But glitches don't smell like melted insulation and fear. I remember the co-pilot's voice before it went silent. A breath, a hesitation, then nothing. The radio died mid-word. The sky swallowed the rest. Everyone else moved on, logging it as communication failure. But I couldn't, because I was the one who'd calibrated that radio, and I knew it didn't fail on its own. When I looked at the empty chair beside me, I realized something worse than a crash had happened. Someone had cut the connection. I didn't start with questions. I started with patterns. Flight 914's last transmission timestamp didn't match its route data. A 5-minute gap. In aviation, 5 minutes can erase a life. The black box never resurfaced. But I found the maintenance log. Forged signatures, erased serial codes, a replacement part ordered under a dead engineer's ID. Whoever did this knew the system better than I did. They knew exactly how to make a plane vanish without a trace. Not into the sea, but into paperwork. I traced the order back to a restricted terminal. Someone had logged in from ground control 30 minutes before takeoff. Emotion said panic. Logic said patience. I chose logic, because panic gets you killed. Patience gets you the truth. It started with whispers. A flight supervisor avoiding eye contact. A technician who suddenly quit. No notice, no forwarding address. And the head of operations, Collins, who smiled too easily when I mentioned the radio failure. The deeper I went, the colder the air felt. Not guilt, not grief, just fear, like everyone was breathing someone else's secret. I replayed the flight's departure footage. Nothing unusual until I saw him. Collins, standing at the edge of the tarmac, watching the plane leave. No clipboard, no headset, just standing, waiting. That's when I knew this wasn't random. The malfunction, the signal loss, the vanishing, it was orchestration. And if Collins planned this, I was next on his list. He once told me, sometimes silence keeps people safe. But silence was exactly what killed them. It took one encrypted backup drive to end the mystery. Hidden in an archived maintenance log, a recording. Not flight data, a conversation. Collins, the cargo's priority. No diversions, no delays. Co-pilot, what's in it? Collins, nothing you want surviving a landing. The static that followed wasn't interference. It was intentional jamming. He'd killed communication to hide what they were transporting and to ensure no one lived to expose it. Flight 914 didn't crash by accident. It was a controlled descent, remotely overridden and buried under sea coordinates that never existed on record. I sat there, replaying his voice until I felt nothing. Anger was a luxury. All I had left was precision and proof. He didn't just kill them, he erased them. I didn't confront him in an office. I confronted him live during a safety hearing broadcast across the agency. I uploaded the recording mid-meeting. The sound of his voice filled the room. Calm, confident, damning. He didn't speak, didn't deny, just stared at me. The kind of look that admits guilt without words. Security took him before he could finish his coffee. As he passed me, he whispered, "You don't know what you've started." He was wrong. I knew exactly what I'd started. I'd restored a signal, the one he tried to kill. The world called it closure. I called it static. They praised the investigation, the justice, the headlines, but all I hear now is the last breath of a co-pilot I never met. Every time the radio hums, I listen for ghosts. Collins is gone. Flight 914 is gone. And yet, the air still feels heavier, as if it remembers. People say the sky is freedom. They're wrong. Up there, silence isn't peace, it's evidence.